here and there. I've been to, like, I want to say over 7 Pilates classes. And the last Pilates class, first of all, I was late and I was the only black person there. I was so mad. And I was only like 2 minutes late, and they started off with stretching. And when I got there, I was so mad. I'm like, damn, I let my community down. Like, why? So I was already annoyed. But when I went, and like as soon as I got in, like the lady checking in, I had my grip stocks. I just went to my what is it called, my reformer, and I just got straight into it and just slid right in. Okay, but what I loved about that class is that that was the first class that I've seen 2 other plus size women. Like that class, like I've again been to like 7, maybe 7, 8, and I've never seen another plus size girl. And in that class I seen 2 plus size girls, and I started to realize like how more comfortable I felt in that class. Like even in the other classes that I go to that usually have slimmer girls and I usually have like white and Asian folks, I always feel like a need that I have to not outperform, but I just feel like, okay, like these folks are judging me. They're judging me because of maybe my color, but mostly my size. Like I'm bigger, and they're probably like judging me, looking at me. Probably not, like they're probably just into doing their own thing, or maybe a little bit of both. But in my head, I'm like, oh my god, these girls are judging me. I have to go a little, like I have to go a little bit harder. And not harder, but just doing like the different exercise. And it's funny because even though I have that thinking sometimes, on the other hand, I'm just like, I am going to take up space. I'm walking in here. None of y'all can tell me something. If I need the instructor to make an adjustment for me, or give me a different modification to an exercise, I'm gonna ask and I'm gonna take up space. So that's how I feel, and I walk in like that, even though inside I'm just like, ugh. So I went to a few Pilates classes, and I remember I went to this one Pilates class and I was late, but I was late with 2 other people. So the instructor was kind of bitchy, and the good thing is that her bitchy was consistent, because sometimes when instructors are bitchy, like I make sure that they're not that like it's right, but I make sure like if someone's only being bitchy to me, trust that after I'm going to the front desk, I'm going to speak to someone, I'm going to write a review. Trust I'm going to really put on my Karen hat and do what I need to do, because you're not going to disrespect me. But her bitchiness, maybe bitchiness is not a right word, but she was just like, when we came to class, like me and the 2 other people, she just felt annoyed that we were in the class and did not take the time to like adjust our reformer to our bodies. Because for instance, I'm tall, so when I'm tall, like I need more space in between, so the instructor will usually adjust it for me and will adjust the arm straps or the leg straps. And she was just, you know, whatever. She actually annoyed that we walked into the class and we were about 5 minutes late. Anyway, so I was doing this exercise, I was getting through our flow as normal, and there was this exercise and she's like, oh, like good for you. And when she said good for you, immediately I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk to the front desk, because it just felt really condescending. Like, what do you mean good for you? Like, what do you mean that? But then I clocked that she says that to other people, which I still feel like it's condescending, but well, maybe it's a genuine thing that she says, like good for you. But when she said that to me, I'm just like, okay, like, are you saying that because I am a bigger person and you don't expect me to get through the exercise well? Or are you saying that because that's just kind of like part of your vocabulary? And it seems that it was just part of her vocabulary, because she said that to the smaller girls. So yeah, I feel like when I go to these Pilates classes, like especially here, I have to be, I don't know, I just have to be hyper aware of disrespect. Because if you're going to disrespect me or make me feel unwelcome, best believe I am going to talk to someone and leave a review. Because as an instructor, if I can't do an exercise properly, like it's your responsibility to do a modification, to give me a modification, or else, like, you know, for like safety and other things. So like a anti-black racism workshop for work, and it was so good. And it was so, one thing that stood out is when he said is like, you can like measure your walk into a space, what is your comfortability level, like do you feel comfortable? And I think that was just so brilliant to ask that, because that's what it, like, that's a subtle yet obvious yet introspective way to, I don't want to say clock someone on their privilege, but to get someone to understand their privileges with their identity. So going back to me and even walking in these spaces, like the last Pilates class, I felt quite comfortable. I was still only the black person there, but there was like maybe 3 or 4, because I'm like, there was 2 beside me. There was like maybe 3 to 4 other plus size girlies in there. So I just felt like a sense of comfortableness, a sense of ease. And even y'all, like even to all like the plus size people that are women that are watching this, like when you go to classes like Pilates and, well, I don't do yoga anymore, but if you go to those type of like Pilates, what else are the girls doing? They're doing aerial yoga, whatever, like any type of workout class. Just know that when you go to these classes, like, you know, carry your head high. Like I walk, even though I feel a bit insecure, or I feel like, oh, like I'm projecting my thoughts on them, be like, oh, they're judging me, and sometimes they are. I still walk into those classes, those predominantly white spaces, those predominantly like thin body spaces. The way I walk into that class, okay, I walk with like my head out high and, you know, just confidence there. I'm a daughter of God, like no one can talk to me crazy. Like I walk really with my head held high in those classes. Even on the inside I feel a little bit insecure and I feel a little bit small. I still walk in like, yeah, like try me.
Purchase your tracks today.
I just walk in as confident. I just walk in confident, and sometimes it's kind of fake, but I walk in confident to know that like, okay, like you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna try to play me, or you're not gonna try to give me less of an experience, and you're not gonna ruin my workout experience just because I'm a little bit bigger. Like you're not gonna do that. You know, when you go into these places, like feel confident. Like even if it's fake, just feel confident, fake the confidence, walk, you know, with your head held high, with your shoulders back, and just know, like, and just take up space. If there's an exercise I can't do, I'll be like, hey, can I get a modification? Or if I need them to adjust my reformer, I'll be like, hey, can you adjust my reformer? So usually some of the better Pilates classes, like they would adjust it for me, but there are times where like they don't, and I'll just be like, hey, can you adjust this for me? Hey, could you like do this? I just take up space, like, hey, can I get a modification? Because that's your job as an instructor. And as I remember, there was one Pilates class that I took. It was a small class. There was 4 people, and it was interesting because I took this class with this instructor before, and I didn't have any issues. But with this class, I was just like, I felt that she would go to other people, adjust them, do what they need to, like adjust them, correct their form, and she'll do that a lot to the rest of the class. And I noticed like she wasn't doing that to me. So I'm just like, Valerie, like, and the workout was really challenging. So I'm like, Valerie, just get through the rest of the workout and then you'll talk to her after. So then after the class, I'm like, hey, I noticed that you weren't really correcting my form. And she was like, yeah, I feel like she was a little bit like, but she was like, yeah, you're doing most of it properly, and you know, your form is really good, and yada yada yada. I wasn't really satisfied with her answer, but the reason why I did not push her further is because I took a previous class with her, and she was adjusting me. Like it was one of the first Pilates class that I took, and it was a great class, and it was because of her, you know. It was because of her and how she instructs. So that's why like I didn't take it personally. But if it was me doing this class the first time with her, I would have probably went to the front desk and be like, hey, like, you know, I noticed that, and just voice my opinion. Like, you're totally okay to voice your experience, and we're doing the Pilates place or whatever you go to, a service when you are voicing how you feel and how your experience went, because once you give them that information, they have the opportunity to improve and to make it a better experience for you. So I remember that, like, I noticed like she was correcting, like she'll come once or twice, but mostly she wasn't. I'm just like, and there is times also that pisses me off, because there's times where I'm like, I know I'm not doing this properly and you're not coming to check me. So kind of just let that one go, and I let that one go again because I had a previous class with her that was really well. But yeah, like when you are feeling like, if you feel like the instructor is not paying attention to you, or if they're not correcting your form, or you're just getting like a weird attitude and vibe, it's most likely you are, and you need to go talk to someone at front desk, let them know your experience with the trainer, and then like leave a review. When I'm really pissed, I will leave a review. When I'm really pissed, and when I'm pissed and then I express the reason why I'm upset, and I express my experience, and I don't get like a compassion, an apology, or I'm sorry, or just some type of acknowledgement, that's when I go to Google reviews and leave a review. Or I'll go to like my ClassPass and leave a review. Like, leave a review, leave a freaking review. But yeah, that's it. And even like with Pilates, like I was thinking about it the other day, like it's a exercise that was I don't want to say it was designed for white women, but you know, in the previous, like before other people were doing it, like it was heavily like white women, maybe Asian women, I don't know, that were doing it. And I could tell like this type of exercise is not really for plus size bodies. And I can tell based on like the reformer, sometimes like the way the reformer is designed and some of the exercises are designed, I'm like, okay. So for example, there's just one exercise where you put the Pilates box on the reformer, and then you have to put like your legs, then you have to put your legs like on the headrest, but only like a slim person's legs, both of their legs would go in there. Like my legs would not go in there. So I'm like, okay, like this is not, like I'm here and I'm still doing that exercise, but this is like the reformers. It's not for people that are plus size, but I still do it because I enjoy the burn. Whoa, I've been ranting for so long. I enjoy the burn, and I enjoy the burn. It works those muscles that I didn't even know existed, and I love that it promotes like flexibility, good posture, and like toning of the body. And I especially love, like I'm someone who is really, when it comes to like lifting weights and those things, like I'm quite strong. But when it comes to like doing things with my own body weight and resistance, that's where I need to improve. So that's why I like Pilates. Any workout class, any fitness class, or whatever, you know, share it below, and you know, share some of your tips on how you navigate those type of experience. Anyways, I gotta go. Bye y'all. I gotta clock in. Bye.